right, ball of clay, pinch pot. Just make sure that you don't make the face too shallow too. That's like one of the problems that I've noticed so far. So you want to keep it like the sides like deep enough that you can actually make a round shape. Hey Kaylee, if you need to see this, come on over. All right, so this is a fake neck, but it's giant. Let's maybe make it less giant just for purposes of visually seeing what we're doing. All right, what's first? Eyes. Okay, so you're gonna scoop out the eye cavities. This always ends up getting a little slumpy. I should probably use clay that's a little bit more dried out. Okay, eye cavities, what's next? Nose. And I realized one thing that's been going badly. I didn't figure it out until yesterday. How I always say to make a triangular wedge. Maybe the more correct description of that is like a pyramid wedge. Everyone that's not over here, can you guys be quiet, please? And I'll let you talk in a minute if you're lucky. Okay, so this is, well, let me show you the other one that people are making. Did I show you guys it looks like everyone's making the nose cut off and I couldn't figure out what was happening? This is what's happening. So like when I've been saying, and then you make a triangular wedge, people have been stitching this on. Okay, that's not what I mean. Even though I know I've been saying that, people have been like hearing that and not thinking about, I guess, what like it actually looks like. What I mean is this, okay? We're not making scarecrows. Are we?
No.
Maybe so. That was a trick question. Oh yeah, I know. It's like a really personal thing for me. I just like start sweating and smash this. Okay, so you guys can see the difference, right? I mean, this is like roughed in, but you guys can see the difference between those two things? Yes? Okay. All right, so we're just gonna start with that. We'll come back and get the nostrils on there later. All right, midline for the mouth. Also, be cautious about where you put this. A lot of people are putting their midline down really far, so the top lip is super long. So make sure that you're looking at your picture. So you're gonna start with this. You're gonna just pull down like a shelf of clay. So remember, it's gonna look like that from the side. Hold on, this guy's just sloopy.
Usually you get something to hold him up.
Yeah. Okay, so then you're gonna round over that shelf and you're gonna push in where the chin's gonna start forming. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. We're gonna start defining that and you can push it out from the inside. Okay, there's a chin-ish lower lip shape, okay? Upper lip, I think the easiest thing to do is to draw two lines on either side of the nose, and you're gonna pull clay down and drag it into that shape that you just made for the lower lip. Haley, if you wanna see this, you should come back here. I don't know if you're ready yet, but you're probably not seeing that good right there. Can you guys see how it's retaining this curve right here? Like I haven't fixed up the edge yet, but you want to like keep it scoopy. And you're gonna go back with this and just like kind of push this in. And remember this, pushing in at the corners and pushing from the inside out through the middle, so that this whole midline, that's like the farthest point that your face comes out into space. And then Sarah, you were asking about a smile.
Yes.
So if the person, like, depending on like how much they're smiling, I might start even kind of curving that line at the very beginning. But you can definitely just even start with a straight line and push the lip gesture to be whatever it's being in your picture. And we haven't talked about teeth yet, but let's talk about the tooth bar thing today a little bit. And then the more a person is smiling, like this, the volume of the top lip, the lip gets like stretched out, and so there's not like the volume coming out in the middle. All of that gets thinner. But I would still start the same way. You know, whatever, we're not looking at a picture here, but, and I can help you, Sarah, specifically if you're getting started and you like don't know where to go.
Okay.
But I would start the same way and then push the lips to whatever gesture they're having. Can I use this for a second?
Yeah.
As far as the teeth go, I would use the back of this tool, this scoopy thing, and make just like a tooth bar, like a unitooth, and push everything so that it's flat, and make sure that it retains this curve, because that's the shape of your teeth, right? So you're gonna push back the edges, just like right here, same thing with the lips, and then we'll go back in later and draw those lines the drier it gets. That looks really freaky. Top lip. Okay, anyway, let's talk about finishing up the nose. So you already have like a pretty good amount of volume on here. We do. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there for nostrils.
So my guy has like kind of a bendy nose, I
Mhm.
guess. Like he has 2 bumps in his nose right
Uh-huh.
here. So should we just add that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no rules and all that stuff. This is
Yeah.
just like a general, like, hey, this is how you should start this shape. But
Okay.
you guys are gonna make it look like your person. So also, if you have not yet printed out, so I'm just blending this right now. If you have not yet printed out your pictures that you're working from, you need to. There is no way you'll make this look like the person that you're trying to depict if you're not looking at your pictures. And I want you to have a paper picture and not an image on your phone. Y'all also have side views, or you're supposed to, so that you can get the shape of all of these things. But like nostril shape, that's like one of the things I've noticed on the nose. People aren't like defining those shapes, and it's just like kind of a melt. It's like this triangular shape that just like melts into the face. Like you need to be looking at the person that you're trying to make, and you know, like shaving things down to match that form, or adding things. Like if you need to add some for yours in certain spots, then please do. All right, so there's like a general structure of a nose. You're gonna use this for your nostrils. Also look at this shape under here, which you can see in your pictures. If you need to add more under there, then definitely do. and not everybody's nose does this, but I feel like on the sculptures that people make, that's pushed in and it looks like a weird elephant trunk. So please make sure that you are looking at the whole shape of everything, and if you need to add stuff, by all means, add stuff. All right, okay. Does anyone have nose questions? Okay. Let's make eyes. All right, so you're gonna roll a ball. You're gonna stretch it out kind of like an almond and make the back flat. So it's gonna be like this. Make sure that your eye cavities are pushed back enough. You're gonna set this in the eye cavity. And remember, you don't want this to bulge out far in front of these. I'll build up this forehead plane that's like pretty sloped back, even though I don't know who it's supposed to look like. Someone grab me a pencil. Well, I'll just use this. So you're gonna make a pupil. That's freaky because of the pen. Pencil's like the perfect one. But anyway, you're gonna make a pupil, okay? Like that. You're gonna roll coils for the eyelids. Remember, the top eyelid's a rainbow, bottom one's a smiley face. You can wrap your eyelids corner to corner. Also, please remember, like the demo, like I'm not looking at anything, which is like easy to make a form, also kind of annoying. But you guys shouldn't be working this fast. Like the kids that I tried to help in the last couple classes, like it doesn't even look like they're, and some of them weren't, don't even have their pictures printed yet. Like I don't know how, that's not a way to like go about like making something that's supposed to look like a person. Like if I was really making this look like a person, I would still be working on this nose forever, right? Looking at my picture, not just like, okay, nostrils, yay, we're done. You need to be referencing your image for sure. Okay, coils meeting in the corners. You're gonna push back everything except for the edge where your eyelashes grow. Okay, so top eyelid, bottom eyelid, you're gonna do the same thing.
Are we going to be doing eyelashes at all?
No. Well, let me talk about that in a second. Okay, so there it is before you push everything back, okay? So then you're just going to drag this rest of this coil down into what will become like the cheekbone. And you're just gonna blend all that in. And the upper coil that we put on is gonna get pulled back into what will become the eyebrow ridge. Also on the top eye, and just again reference your picture on the top eye, on the top eyelid. This tool is really good to kind of like create that curve of somebody's eyelid, like, and how much space there is like between their eyelid and where like their eyebrow bone is. So use this, look at your picture, try and make those things look accurate to your person. But in the way of like adding whatever you need to add, we probably need to build up this forehead ridge a little bit. If you have a lot of clay on your face, you can push some out from the back in addition to adding stuff on any of the things, the chin, the forehead, the cheeks. And also make sure that you push the eyes in at the temples right here. That's always a spot, like everyone's face gets more narrow at the temples regardless of your face shape. Okay, so make sure that you are kind of like keeping an eye on that. Eyelashes. Like we can worry about all this stuff later. I definitely wouldn't do it at the beginning because when you're just forming the stuff, the clay's like too mucky. But you can use this tool, first of all, to push in like that little corner spot where like there's like a tear duct or whatever.